Welcome to Express News. We give you top 100 news of the day. Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto arrived in New Delhi on his first state visit to India. He will be the chief guest for India's 76th Republic Day celebrations this year. President Subianto will hold bilateral talks with India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday. He will also meet President of India Draupadi Murmu. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar calls on Prabowo Subianto, President of Indonesia. This is the first state visit to India by Subianto. Republic Day Parade 2025 will have special focus on 75 years of enactment of Constitution, 160-member marching contingent and 190-member band contingent from Indonesia will take part in the parade at Kartavya Path on January 26th. India's Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav held a meeting with the Prime Minister of Bhutan, sharing top gear in Davos. Both leaders discussed rail connectivity to Bhutan and IT services. India's IT and Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav also held discussion with a group of founders of AI startups. He underscored that the focus and direction of India AI mission was well appreciated throughout WEF 2025 Davos. Ministry of External Affairs on Friday said that India is against illegal immigration. India said that it is willing to facilitate the return of undocumented Indian nationals, provided their nationality is verified. On the upcoming visit of India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri to China, MEA spokesperson Randeep Jaiswal said that Foreign Secretary will be meeting his counterpart, the Vice Minister in China. He said that all issues of bilateral interest will be discussed. The last session of Day 2 of the International Conference on Global Election Year 2024 Reiteration of Democratic Spaces took place in New Delhi. The event saw the participation of various election commission bodies across the world. Chief Election Commissioner of India Rajiv Kumar continued the session and laid down special emphasis on the technology. He also called for the essential steps in enhancing the elections with digital advancements. India's permanent representative to the United Nations, P. Harish, reaffirms commitment to collaborative efforts for revitalization of UN General Assembly. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Friday flagged off Sanjay battlefield surveillance system from New Delhi. Developed by Bharat Electronics Limited, the system aims to enhance battlefield transparency. Sanjay is an automated system which integrates the inputs from all ground and aerial battlefield sensors. It can produce a common surveillance picture of the battlefield over secured army data network and satellite communication network. 10 members of parliament from the opposition party have been suspended from the Joint Parliament Committee on Friday. This comes after they created ruckus in the meeting held on the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024. India's premier space agency ISRO is all set for its 100th launch. The mission is likely to take place on 29th of January. It will be a GSLV mission for a navigation satellite. The Indian Navy and DRDO successfully flight tested the indigenously developed air-droppable container from a P-8I aircraft on Friday. Air-droppable container system will provide much-needed capability of delivering critical stores and emergency supplies at sea during peacetime and combat operations. India's Supreme Court has declined to consider a public interest litigation that sought to repeal the Income Tax Act's tax deducted. The petition argued that the assessors are disproportionately burdened with high administrative costs. A massive blast ripped through an ordnance factory near the Indian city of Nagpur on Friday, killing 8 workers and injuring 7. The blast occurred in the Bhandara district in the Indian state of Maharashtra. Under the Deep Ocean Mission flagship project, India is set to deploy first human-operated underwater submersible. The submersible, designed for a depth of up to 500 meters, is expected to launch this year. The Indian benchmark indices Sensex drops 329 points to settle at 76,190 at close on Friday. Nifty declines 113 points to settle at 23,092. Indian rupee on Friday rises 22 paise to close at 86.22 against US dollar. Gold futures maturing on February 5 were priced at rupees 79,964 rupees per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures from March 5 maturity stood at rupees 91,948 per kilogram on the MCX. Brent crude futures were up 6 cents at $78.35 a barrel on Friday as US President Trump issued US President. The Bank of Japan raised interest rates on Friday to their highest from 0.25% to 0.5% since the 2008 global financial crisis. Shares in British luxury retailer Burberry soared by more than 13% in opening trade on Friday after its third quarter sales fell by less than forecast. Musk's Tesla launched a new higher-priced version of the Model Y in the United States, Canada and Europe on Thursday. The new Model Y will cost $59,990 in the US. World shares advanced on Friday after US stocks rose to a record high. S&P 500 climbed 0.5% to 6,118, surpassing its record set early last month. US President Trump promised global elites lower taxes if they bring manufacturing to the US and threatened to impose tariffs if they don't at the World Economic Forum in Davos. US President Donald Trump also assured incentivizing companies to facilitate business. He laid out a carrot and stick approach for private investment in the US to strengthen the economy. Amid Trump's tariff row, World Trade Organization chief said that trade wars would have catastrophic consequences for global growth. She also urged states to refrain from retaliation at the World Economic Forum session on trade. US President Trump said that he could reach trade deal with China. In response, China on Friday said that the US and China could resolve their differences through dialogue. Trump has called on Saudi Arabia and the other OPEC nations to reduce oil prices. He asserted that the lower prices would help bring the war between Russia and Ukraine to an immediate end. Donald Trump also called for an immediate end to the conflict in Ukraine. In an interview to a news channel, Trump threatened tariffs, taxes and sanctions on Russia if Putin refuses to negotiate a resolution to conflict. US's Donald Trump signed an order to declassify government files related to the assassinations of former President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert Kennedy and civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. US judge blocks Trump's administration from implementing the executive order curtailing the right to automatic birthright citizenship in the United States. District judge issued temporary restraining order at the urging of 4 Democratic-led states, Washington, Arizona, Illinois and Oregon. Trump administration arrests 538 illegal immigrants, deport hundreds in a mass operation just days into Trump's second administration. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency also said that 373 detainers had been lodged in jail. The United States will leave the World Health Organization next January after being formally notified of the decision by President Donald Trump. Trump has repeatedly accused WHO of mishandling COVID health crisis. US Vice President J.D. Vance swears in new CIA Director John Ratcliffe. The upper house of the US legislature voted 74 to 25 to approve Ratcliffe, who served as the Director of National Intelligence from 2020 to 2021. Russia launched a barrage of drones in an overnight attack on Ukraine on Friday. 3 civilians were killed while 1 was injured in the attack. Ukraine launched a drone strike in Russia's Ryazan region early on Friday. Officials said that the emergency crews were dealing with the aftermath of the attack that sparked fire at an oil refinery. Russia claims another settlement in Donetsk region. The Russian Defense Ministry said its troops seized the village of Solone in Donetsk. Kremlin says Russian president wants to restart nuclear arms cuts talks in response to comments by US President Donald Trump. Trump said on Thursday he wanted to work towards cutting nuclear arms. South Korea's military said on Friday that it suspects North Korea is preparing to send more troops to Russia to fight Ukrainian forces. The country also suspected North Korea's preparation to launch a spy satellite and an intercontinental ballistic missile. Saudi Arabia's Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud visited Lebanon in first trip to Beirut by Riyadh's top diplomat in 15 years. He met with Lebanese officials, including Lebanese PM designate Nawaf Salam, caretaker PM Najib Mikati. In Mexico, protesters stormed the government palace in Culiac and then pressed the authorities to address escalating regional violence. The protesters displayed photographs of the victims in the city hall's central courtyard. In Nigeria, Boko Haram insurgents killed at least 20 fishermen in Borno state. The insurgents stormed the fishing community of Gatangari on Wednesday and opened fire at fishermen working in the area. Indonesian rescuers halt evacuation due to bad weather after landslide kills 25. Officials said that rescuers had to stop work because of heavy rain and fog. We are heading for a short break. Stay tuned to DD India.
उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग के लिए तेरा एसआईपी के बारे में क्या ख्याल है?
रिटायरमेंट अभी तो पूरी लाइफ बाकी है यार।
और तुझे नहीं लगता अगर रिटायरमेंट के बारे में अभी से नहीं सोचे तो आगे जाके प्रॉब्लम होगी?
पर रिटायरमेंट के बारे में सोचना क्यों है इतना जरूरी? जब तक आप रिटायर हो जाएंगे महंगाई काफी ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगी और आपकी इनकम वो तो रुक ही जाएगी। इसीलिए आज ही म्यूचुअल फंड्स में एसआईपी शुरू कीजिए और हर महीने थोड़ा थोड़ा करके धन इकट्ठा कीजिए एक कंफर्टेबल रिटायर्ड लाइफ जीने के लिए। अधिक जानकारी के लिए अपने वित्तीय सलाहकार से परामर्श करें। LIC म्यूचुअल फंड द्वारा निवेशक शिक्षा की एक पहल। म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिम के अधीन है। योजना से संबंधित सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
स्वागता।
Welcome back. Let's continue with the stories. LA wildfires continue to wreak havoc as new wildfire erupted on Otay Mountain, south of California. Thick smoke was seen rising from various regions as fire spread over 566 acres. Air tankers and water-bombing helicopters along with firefighters battled the blaze on ground on Otay. Forecast of rain from Saturday to Monday in the region could bring some relief. Firefighters stopped the expansion of a new wildfire north of Los Angeles. More than 50,000 residents in South California have been placed under evacuation orders or warnings so far. California governor signs $2.5 billion relief package after threats to withhold federal funds. US President Donald Trump is due to visit fire-wrecked Los Angeles. Record high winds from Storm Owen battered Island on Friday. 560,000 homes and businesses were left without power. Schools and public transport were shut down. The red warning was in place for the entire island for the first time since Storm Ophelia in 2017. Hundreds of flights were also cancelled. Severe cold wave is set to return North India as Indian weather officials predicts rainfall in 8 states. Meanwhile, cold wave continues in Jammu and Kashmir, Srinagar. As per IMD, minimum temperature of minus 3.3 degrees Celsius was recorded in the city today. Air passengers continue to experience disruptions due to extended flight delays caused by foggy weather in India's New Delhi. The city woke up to a light layer of fog with a slight rise in temperature anticipated, providing some relief from the chill. Parts of New York's Hudson River turned to ice during recent cold weather in the city. The frozen surface split into ice blocks with city's face skyline seen in the background of the river. The National Weather Service has issued a warning for wind chills in eastern parts of the US. In New York, temperatures below 0 Celsius have hit the city. The Algerian Sahara is attracting more foreign tourists. In El Menia Museum, Algeria, tourists from Spain and Portugal were discovering the desert for the first time. The visitors highlighted the magical atmosphere of open-air museum of Sar Al Mania Elmenia was founded in early 10th century by Zenata tribe. Adorable animals at the Shanghai Wild Animal Park enjoy tailored feasts prepared by caretakers to mark the Little New Year. Visitors gathered around the animal park as resident animals receive their celebration meals. Little New Year in Chinese typically falls a week before the Lunar New Year. As the Spring Festival approaches, snake-themed products are flying off the shelves and a variety of celebrations are taking place across China to greet the Year of the Snake. All 15 Lunar New Year fairs across Hong Kong opened on Thursday. The markets feature a variety of flowers, toys and trinkets as well as fast food stalls. In Australia, a rare plant known as the coarse flower bloomed in Sydney on Friday for the first time in more than a decade. Thousands of people have visited the plant to witness the event. The coarse flower's scientific name is Amorphophallus titanum and found in the wild. The plant typically does not bloom more than once every few years and it lasts only about a day. Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam will host a variety of entertainment activities during the Lunar New Year, featuring both traditional Tet cultural programs and modern performances. Vietnam Cultural Tourism Area is expected to see a 10 to 20% visitor increase compared to last year. Visitors can also explore the Saigon Zoo and Botanical Garden and the city's historic landmarks. The official character of the Expo 2025, Osaka, Kansai, Japan, has visited the United Nations headquarters in New York. The visit was aimed at promoting the international exposition set to open in April in Osaka, Japan. Under the Expo's theme, United for a Better Future, the UN plans to highlight its sustainable development goals. At Paris Fashion Week, Japanese designer Yohji captivated the audience with a serene, thoughtful approach to fashion as he unveiled his Fall-Winter 2025. Celeste Yo-Yo Ma gave an outdoor performance dedicated to glaciers on Thursday. The performance in the Swiss ski resort town was a part of climate change initiative. Animals residing at the Houston Zoo in Texas were delighted by a rare snowfall, with some experiencing this climate event for the first time. The zoo in Texas reopened on Thursday as it was closed due to record snowfall. Total 66 staff members remained at the premises to care for the animals. As the Lunar Year of the Snake approaches, a pet store in Taipei is offering adventurous customers an opportunity to enjoy the company of snakes. Pet store owners hoped to break down some of the prejudice against the animals. Subtropical and mountainous Taiwan is home to some 60 native snake species. Scientists from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology have developed advanced robotic insects that could aid farming through artificial pollination. Advanced robotic insects could prove especially useful in the controlled indoor environments of high-tech vertical farms. They are also capable of performing high-speed acrobatic maneuvers. The Motion Picture Academy officially announced its nominees for the 97th Academy Awards. The Walt Disney Company earned 15 nominations from across the Walt Disney Studios content brands and platforms. The Walt Disney Studio earned 2 nominations for A Real Pain for Best Original Screenplay and Best Supporting Actor. The highest grossing film of 2024, Inside Out 2, was nominated for Best Animated Feature. Indian film Anuja, produced by Guneet Monga Kapoor and Priyanka Chopra, has secured a nomination in the Best Live Action Short Film category at Oscars 2025. Indian film actor Randeep Hooda will be seen sharing screen space with Hollywood star John Cena in the upcoming action thriller Matchbox. The film is currently being shot in Budapest. Kangana Ranaut's starrer movie Emergency has completed 1 week at the box office. On day 7, Emergency earned ₹1 crore and total collection stands at ₹14.4 crore. Defending champion Yannick Sinner overcame Ben Shelton 7-6, 6-2, 6-2 in the Australian Open semi-finals on Friday to set up summit clash with Alexander Zverev. 7th seed Novak Djokovic retired mid-match due to injury, resulting in Alexander Zverev's walkover to the Australian Open final. Djokovic would not commit to working with Andy Murray again as his coach after the Serb retired from the Australian Open semi-finals with injury. Australian pair of Olivia Gadecki and John Peers battled back from set down to clinch the Australia Open mixed doubles title on Friday. Defending champion Aryna Sabalenka is set to face Madison Keys in the women's singles final of the Australian Open on Saturday. India Sports Minister Mansukh Mandavia felicitated specially abled cricket team for its historic victory in the Champions Trophy in Colombo. India to take on England in the second T20 international match in Chennai on Saturday. India lead the 5-match series 1-0. India's star batter Smriti Mandhana and all-rounder Deepti Sharma have been named in the ICC Women's ODI team of 2024. India's Olympic bronze medalist Lavlina Borgohain will begin her boxing season at the National Games starting on January 28 in Uttarakhand. The inaugural edition of the World Pickleball League has kicked off in Mumbai on Friday. The 10-day-long tournament will feature 6 teams. Uruguay centre-back Ronald has extended his contract with Barcelona till 2031. Tottenham Hotspur striker Dominic is set to be out of action for 6 weeks due to a knee injury. Juventus have signed France forward Randal Moani from Paris Saint-Germain on loan until the end of the season for $1.04 million. Belgium's Football Federation announced Frenchman Rudi Garcia as the new national team coach after the sacking of Domenico Tedesco. Julian Nagelsmann to remain Germany coach till end of Euro 2028 after extending his contract. That's it. In Express News, updates will continue. Keep watching DD India.